TD Bank pleads guilty in money laundering case. Will pay $3 billion in penalties. TD Bank pleaded guilty Thursday to multiple criminal charges and agreed to pay a whopping $3 billion in fines and other penalties to the Department of Justice and financial regulators for failing to monitor money laundering by drug traffickers and other criminals. As part of the deal, TD Bank, whose U.S. unit is the 10th largest American bank by assets, will also have limits to its growth imposed by the Office of the Comptroller of the currency. The total assets of TD Bank, two U.S. banking subsidiaries, will be barred from exceeding $434 billion under their restriction. The restrictions are similar to those imposed by the Federal Reserve on Wells Fargo in 2018 over what Federal Reserve called widespread consumer abuses at the bank. By making its services convenient for criminals, TD Bank became one, said Attorney General Merrick Garland on Thursday. I mean, I think this kind of stuff is rampant.
Remember what you just said about the J.P. Morgan. Remember that? The $1.3 billion of cocaine bust. Wasn't
like 20 some. It was crazy. They found a lot.
20 tons. Yeah, seized 20 tons of cocaine on board. And then they blamed. They didn't even blame the captain. They blamed some other dude that wasn't even on the boat. He got dropped off at the port before, like he forgot his cocaine.
The 20 tons of it. You know what I mean? Like,
and it took them months. They made that story go away before they even charged anybody.
There are several other banks that's been charged with this money laundering stuff too. I mean, we all know what happened. They said they built Miami off drug money. Let's be real here. You know what I mean? This country runs off drug money. If the drug money was dropped out of this country right now, we're going to a recession. That's what kept us, afloat during the recession. Was drug money. So let's be real here. You know what I mean? Like, these banks are criminal units, and these same banks like Wells Fargo, they talk about widespread abuses. One of them was not giving loans to black people or charging us more in interest than they would charge the same exact. Everyone had to. Okay, say.
And they have documented cases of that. They had the one black family. They had the people come in and they gave them an estimate on their home and it was low. Then they had someone else come in. They took all the pictures off the wall of black folks. Had their white friend up there, and they made the house more.
Yeah, more in value. Yeah. I heard about that one too, man. This is why we talk about reparations. This is why we talk about redline. This is why we talk about we understand there is I don't even like to say privilege or anything like that. There's an inherent disproportionate inequity in this country when it comes to black people and anyone else in this country.
I think these banks I think the banks are they need to be regulated more. Think about it. Like, when the financial crisis happened, it was because of the banks. We gave the banks money. Think about it. Bank of America was charging people for not having so much money in their bank.
They still do.
Think about it. They robbed. I think they made like almost $1 billion.
Yeah, and just fees and things like that.
Think about it. They robbed people that didn't have money.
I mean, they also charge you if your bank goes into overdraft, even though you got to pay it back, it's like $35 every single time. They do this all the time.
My bank waives it.
Do you know what I would honestly?
My bank waives a lot of fees. So I like my bank.
No, people do that, but a lot of banks do if you ask. You know what?
Wells Fargo's the gangster.
How I feel about the whole thing is this right here. When I talk about reparations, I look at reparations from this standpoint. It's not about just money for black people. I wouldn't even want them to give individual black people money. I want them to give it to us as a collective, and then start helping us help us create banks for ourselves. Not only that, give us a few seats on the Federal Reserve as well. I'd like some seats on that for black people, for black banks especially.
Bro, if they gave me the money, I'm buying a piece of South America and get the fuck out of here.
No, I don't. Listen, I don't want them to give us money. I want our money to be more like.
Whoa!
I want our money to be like as almost like a hedge fund where it's put into a hedge fund and it can be dispersed out and then made into a bigger fund for all of us where we can almost receive stipends like the Native Americans do for the rest of our lives for generations and generations and generations to come. And we can go to those same banks and get bank loans with lower interest rates and be able to go buy property, start businesses. That's how you do it.
Can we all have a choice? Like, hey,
I think we should all go in as one.
Or
I think we should all go in as one. That's just I have a whole entire. I'm not saying it's a perfect one because I'm not a financial.
You should write that up and tell it to the people. They probably like to hear it. But I'll take the money. I was give it to my family. They should give it to the family.
I think we should.
Or no, individuals.
If they gave it to us, I mean, they're talking about. But this is getting off subject.
You see people when they go to like their work, and all 5 of the people in their work go like put money down on a lotto ticket, and then they win, and that one person got the ticket in their hand, they take off. It's happened multiple times.
That's D-Mac right there.
But when going back to the banks, bro, I always tell people, the worst bank is Wells Fargo. And I always tell people, I'm like, well, look at their logo. It's a stagecoach. That's how old school they are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got homeboy up there with the shotgun.
They've been around
like,
for a long time,
everybody.
since the 1800s or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's like one of the first banks, bro.
It's ridiculous.
And it's a stagecoach. Is their mother? I mean, you should know they're going to rob you.
I mean, you look at TD Bank. I almost want to say, I wonder if that's. I'm not sure if that's the same thing as TD or Ameritrade. I almost want to say it is because the logo looks really similar. But these guys, man, it's just crazy. Like right now, they're giving them a $3 billion penalty. So imagine how much money that they were able to make off this, because you know how banks work. Okay, you put money in a bank account. Now banks they have a thing called the LIBOR. It's like the overnight like kind of lending. Like this is how much the bank can lend it for, and how much money what percentage they can lend money out to people for.
Yeah.
So if I put say you put in $1,000 into a bank account, right? A bank can now go and lend out $10,000 off of your $1,000. So imagine if drug dealers put in $10 billion, $20 billion in this bank account. They're blending out hundreds of billions of dollars off that. Now you're going to go tell them, oh, you got to give us back $3 billion. It's nothing. They're like,
that's
oh, yeah,
cool. Like, that's it.
I ain't tripping. I'm going to give you this $3 billion, man. And now you got to do this. Okay, cool. What I'm going to do now is go get another subsidiary and off this bank that I got now and start a whole nother one and do the same goddamn thing over again. We already got 10 of them set up already, bro. Off of this because we kind of knew you had us a while ago. You know what I'm saying?
They're like, whatever, $3 billion, that's
already
taxpayer
took my money. We're good. They'll say we done burnt this out. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm going to wait till the next administration come in and they're going to go ahead and knock this off of us anyways. We'll be right back to doing business, man.
Just keep it in courts for a while and shit. But Donald Trump, you good? You'd be like, yeah. Keep
Don't worry about a thing. Let me pass this over.
Just give me a little donation of $500,000.
Wait till there's another hurricane. We'll go ahead and pass this on as news. Oh yeah. TD Bank has now paid its fine. Is no longer under penalties, man.
I want to do this.